quick training video on the TradingView Slingshot Trading Indicator along with the Bias Depth Heatmap. So one of my mantras is signal confirmation. We do look for fresh air. We're not going to look at that today. We're going to look at this and a setting for the management. So a type 3 sell on the left here. So this is where we have a bullish move. We pull back into a pullback zone, but we don't get a signal to go long with this software. What it does is recognize when it breaks that pullback zone, we've got a trend reversal on our hands, and we've got a type 3. So we've got a type 3 sell. The thing then to do is look down below, and if you can see where my crosshairs are, all 6 time frames are red on the Bias Depth Heatmap. So that is the signal, and that is the confirmation. That is to go. So I'm actually making this video on GBP Japanese yen. What I'm trying to do is, with these training videos, use lots of different instruments, futures, Forex, lots of different Forex pairs, just to show you that especially with this ATR Ranko with TradingView, very, very spectacular results with the Slingshot here. So that's a good trade. We come back up and take up the trailing stop at this point and take the profit. We then have a pullback zone printed because this is now a bearish trend. No signal to go short. In fact, it breaks out the top of there. No signal though. Now pulls back, and we pull back into a pullback zone where we get a type 1 and a type 2 buy. Both signals have all 6 time frames. You look at the crosshair down below, vertically below, all 6 time frames are green. So we have our signals, there's 2, and there's confirmation from the Bias Depth Heatmap, and we go long. So unlike the type 3 where there's no targets, there are targets on the type 1 and 2 buys, and these probability pullback zones, the 3 different colored zones. So the 3 different colored zones are probabilities to go and hit this target 2, the middle target there. Very, very strong fib retracements to extension probabilities. So this finds support in this first lightly colored green zone. That's an 85% probability it's going to hit that target 2. And it did, okay? The middle zone is 80%, the bottom zone is 85%. So the idea is to measure those pullbacks and to trade that slingshot, or indeed the trend failure. Target 2 is always, a lot of people, if you're trading multiple lots, contracts, is always takes them off at target 2. Target 3 is another one, but we do have the trailing stop run all the way. This was a run, and this is what we look for really with the trailing stops. Now this can be adjusted, and you need to back test this. So currently, if I go into the slingshot settings, we can see there's quite a bit in here, but the main thing is stop EMA is set at 34 right now. Okay, so one thing you're going to have to back test these for is the instrument that you're trading on and how it performs over time, and do that back testing. So if I change that down to 21 now and let that work it out, we're going to have a lot more aggressive trailing stop there. Okay, so you can see here the trailing stop at this point didn't make that much difference on that type 3. We were very tight on this type 2 buy here, still made some really decent profit. On the other way, you could go really, really conservative and change it to 55. Okay, let that just do the calculations. And then you can see here, they stopped printing when we stopped printing the zones, but that 55 is way below. We're going all the way to the next zone where we get a type 3 sell and we get a trend failure. Okay, this happens over and over again. These patterns, this algorithm, the rules that are for this are very consistent looking for those types of trades. So this is just a very quick video. It's very important to understand the best time frame. So I've got it on the 1 minute. Ranko ATR 14 for GBP Japanese yen, and it's in the groove. Whether it's a type 3, type 1, type 2, we're getting lots of good signals on that move. So again, type 3 is a trend failure, type 1 and type 2 are for those with trend slingshot. So it pulls back and slingshots higher. Very, very good. And then you can see further we get the type 3 sell at this point. Not all 6 time frames are red at this point here, so this is something you've got to do with your back testing. You know, it is on average 4 or 5 out of 6 the ones where we get all the winners for those type 3 sells, buys, start to build that set of rules with that instrument. So we provide a very, very strong intense type of algorithm that follows a lot of rules and understands those trend failures and those with trend slingshots. But you need to do a little bit of work on the right time frame for your instrument. Understand how to adjust, whether it's going to be aggressive or conservative for that. The EMA that we use for the trailing stop. Again, we're at 55 now. We can go right down aggressive to 13. This would be too aggressive for this time frame. You'll probably see some of these pivots here actually, yes, would have taken that out. So you've got to give some of these moves room. Give them enough room and they will look for those runners, and that's what we're after. Hopefully that helps. Check out the links below for the TradingView version of the Slingshot Indicator.